Hello and welcome to the third week of Season 23, Season of the Wish, starting on December 12th, 2023. So for week 3, let's get going with our Legacy rotation, starting with the Forsaken expansion.
Ready if you are. Let's see what's out there.
The Dreaming City this week is at a medium curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in the Devilian Mist, and has the Oracle Engine mission for the next week. The Blind Well features Hive enemies and the Plague, Kregar. The Ascendant challenge this week will be the Chimera Garrison, which can be located over in the Chamber of Starlight Lost sector on the Dreaming City. Next up, the Shadowkeep expansion. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is a mysterious disturbance. The Trove Guardian is located in the Anchor of Light, while the Wandering Nightmare is the Fallen Council in Archer's Line. And the Nightmare hunts this week will be Fogoth, Fear, Crota, Despair, and the Fanatic, Insanity. For our Beyond Light expansion, on Europa this week, Phylax the Warrior will be the Empire Hunt, Asterian's Abyss will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo change will be Agility. For the 30th anniversary expansion, Dares of Eternity legendary rounds are Taken, Cabal, and for the final round, Zydron. The loot rotation will be on week 2's rotation, with the Scatterhorn armor set and the Perfectus armor set being available. The weapons available this week will be the Kinetic Adaptive Frame Auto Rifle Scathelock, the Kinetic Aggressive Frame Submachine Gun Extraordinary Rendition, the Void Aggressive Burst Sidearm Brass Attacks, the Void Precision Frame Linear Fusion Rifle Threaded Needle, the Solar High Impact Frame Rocket Launcher Code Dwello, the Void Lightweight Frame Bow Imperial Needle, the Solar Adaptive Frame Sniper Rifle Far Future, the Arc Adaptive Frame Sword Honor's Edge, the Solar Rapid Fire Frame Sniper Rifle Distant Terminus, the Arc Adaptive Frame Grenade Launcher Interference 6, the Kinetic Adaptive Frame Sniper Rifle Shepherd's Watch, and the Solar Adaptive Frame Hand Cannon Annual Skate. For the Witch Queen expansion, the Witch Queen weekly story mission is The Last Chance, where the modifier is Martyr, as well as Barrier and Unstoppable champions. Also this week you will have Altar of Reflection's Choice and Altar of Reflection's Pact. The Wellspring activity has been updated to include a featured Throne World weapon, Veritas armor, and a weapon pattern as its rewards. For the Lightfall expansion, the weekly mission is Downfall, with extra shields, lock loadouts, and extra champions. Barrier and Unstoppable champions, Solar Threat, Scorched Earth, Kinetic Overcharge, Stasis and Solar Surges, with an overcharged weapon and galvanized on hero difficulty only. The Partition mission will be Ordnance, Contest mode enabled with Overload and Unstoppable champions, Solar Threat, Arc and Strand shields, Air Superiority modifier with Solar and Stasis Surges. And the Vex incursion this week will be Umshire Park. In addition, the weekly Lightfall reset also refreshes the Pinnacle drop for the Node Override Avalon exotic mission on the EDZ. For the Season of the Deep, all 3 fishing ponds are now exotic all week. Raids and Dungeons. The Crota's End raid challenge this week is the first encounter, Enter the Abyss, called Conservation of Energy. Guardians must alternate between depositing the Chalice of Light in a podium and enlightening a lamp. Plus, if you complete the weekly challenge on Master, you'll get an Adept weapon. The Adept weapon you get is a random drop, but works on a knockout system. You will get a new one with every challenge you complete every week until you've unlocked them all. The Root of Nightmares raid challenge this week is the second encounter, Scission, called Crossfire. No one can shoot the launch crystals on the side they're currently standing on. The King's Fall raid challenge this week is the 5th encounter, Oryx, called Hands Off. Players must not kill the same ogre or lighty tonight throughout the encounter. The Vow the Disciple challenge this week is the 3rd encounter, the Upender, called Defenses Down. This is where each player cannot kill more than one taken knight in total. The Vault of Glass challenge this week is the 1st encounter, Confluxes, called Wait For It, where every Yellow Bar Wyvern must be killed as they sacrifice themselves to the Confluxes. The Garden of Salvation challenge this week is the 1st encounter, Embrace, called To The Top. This is where you must not kill the Cyclopses that spawn near the Consecrated Mind. And the Last Wish challenge this week is the 5th encounter, Riven, called Strength of Memory, where Guardians must not shoot the same Riven Eye twice. Your Pinnacle raid will be the Deepstone Crypt over on Europa, which means all challenges will be available for each encounter. These are the 1st encounter, Crypt Security, called Red Rover. This is where all Guardians must be an operator and shoot the 2 panels on the lower levels. The 2nd encounter, Atrax 1, called Copies of Copies, where you must not send any Atrax 1 replicant debuffs into the airlock/space. The 3rd encounter, Tanix Part 1, called Of All Trades. Guardians must perform each role at least once, Operator, Scanner and Suppressor. And the 4th encounter, Tanix, called The Core 4. Guardians must dunk all 4 cores before each DPS phase. Also, with the Deepstone Crypt being the featured raid, this does mean that you can farm the final boss for a chance at the exotic rocket launcher, Eyes of Tomorrow. The Pinnacle dungeon will be the Pit of Heresy on the Moon. And our exotic mission Rotator will be Vox Obscura, with the Dead Messenger exotic grenade launcher being the main reward. Craftable weapons available from this mission include the Solar Wave Frame Grenade Launcher Explosive Personality, the Stasis Rapid Fire Frame Machine Gun Recurrent Impact, the Void Precision Frame Bow Under Your Skin, the Arc Rapid Fire Frame Auto Rifle Sweet Sorrow, the Stasis Adaptive Frame Sniper Thoughtless, and the Kinetic Rapid Fire Frame Pulse Rifle Peace of Mind, with the Tusk Allegiance armor set. Next up, challenges. Wish Seeker 3, complete week 3 of Wishing All the Best. 4. Challenge XP Plus. Elemental Extremes, get 250 Arc, Solar or Stasis Final Blows. Bonus progression is granted for Jolt, Ignite and Shatter Final Blows. 4. Challenge XP++. Foes of the Dragon Scorn, defeat 125 Scorn anywhere in the system. Defeating Scorn in Riven's Lair or the Coil grant additional progress. Additionally, defeat 3 Glass Collectors in the Coil. 4. Challenge XP+. Dragon's Defender 3, defeat 125 targets with Pulse Rifles and Fusion Rifles. Gain additional progress for Guardian Final Blows and Final Blows within Riven's Lair or the Coil. 4. Challenge XP+. Round and round we go. Generate Orbs of Power in Vanguard, Gambit or Crucible playlists. 4. Challenge XP+++ and Bright Dust. And Trial by Firing Squad. Win multiple rounds in Trials of Osiris. 4. Challenge XP++, Bright Dust and a Trials of Osiris weapon. Hello! As a reminder, your daily lost sector will show you a flag outside which will give you details of threats, shields, champions and exotic armor you will find inside. But if you're new to the game or using an alternate character and can't find the flag outside, you will have to run through the lost sector normally to have it show up on your map as a legend/master, which you can either do solo or with a fire team, but you'll only be able to earn a chance at the exotic drop when completing solo. This season will see the introduction of Gunsmith engrams, as well as a selection of foundry weapons for completing Legend and Master lost sectors while solo, with Legend being a 70% chance to Master being 100%, assuming the Guardian is thorough enough to leave no champion standing. Thorough completions on Master difficulty will also have the advantage of weapons dropping an additional perk in either the 3rd or 4th column. The weapons available from the lost sectors are grouped into 4 weapons per day over 4 days, and after the 4th day the cycle repeats back to the first set. The following weapons will be available from the lost sectors during the Season of the Wish. Day 1, the Strand High Impact Frame Fusion Rifle Nox Perennial 5, the Strand Adaptive Frame Auto Rifle Old Sterling, the Solar Rapid Fire Frame Grenade Launcher Marsilian C, and the Stasis Omolon Adaptive Frame Sidearm Senua SI6. Day 2, the Stasis High Impact Frame Pulse Rifle Psychomatic 5, the Strand Precision Frame Scout Rifle Glissando 47, the Strand Vice Rapid Fire Frame Sniper Rifle Urakanji, and the Arc Adaptive Frame Sword Nazarudin. Day 3, the Solar Lightweight Frame Sidearm Heliocentric QSC, the Kinetic Aggressive Frame Sniper Rifle Last Foray, the Arc Aggressive Frame Shotgun Hand in Hand, and the Kinetic Lightweight Frame Pulse Rifle Battle Scar. Day 4, the Nadir Void Adaptive Frame Sword Geodetic HSM, the Arc Aggressive Frame Hand Cannon Combined Action, the Void Wave Frame Grenade Launcher Harsh Language, and the Solar Adaptive Frame Auto Rifle Coronator 22. This week's rotation will start on Weapon Set 3 on Tuesday's reset. Tuesday, December 12th will be Perdition on Europa for exotic boots, Arc Threat, Solar and Stasis Surges, Arc and Void Shields, Shocker Modifier, Overcharged Fusion Rifles with Overload and Unstoppable Champions. Wednesday, December 13th will be Bunker E15 on Europa for exotic gauntlets, Void Threat, Solar and Stasis Surges, Void Shields, Shocker Modifier, Overcharged Grenade Launchers with Barrier and Overload Champions. Thursday, December 14th will be Concealed Void on Europa for exotic chests, Solar Threat, Solar and Stasis Surges, Void and Solar Shields, Arachno Modifier, Overcharged Trace Rifles with Barrier and Overload Champions. Friday, December 15th will be Thrillerdrome on Neptune for exotic helmets, Void Threat, Solar and Stasis Surges, Arc and Void Shields, Shocker Modifier, Overcharged Grenade Launchers with Barrier and Overload Champions. Saturday, December 16th will be Gilded Precept on Neptune for exotic boots, Arc Threat, Solar and Strand Surges, Void and Solar Shields, Scorched Earth Modifier, Overcharged Glaives with Barrier and Unstoppable Champions. Sunday, December 17th will be Scavenger's Den on the EDZ for exotic gauntlets, Solar Threat, Solar and Strand Surges, Arc Shields, Scorched Earth Modifier, Overcharged Fusion Rifles with Barrier and Overload Champions. And finally, back round to Monday, December 18th will be Skydock 4 on the EDZ for exotic chests, Solar Threat, Solar and Strand Surges, Void Shields, Pestilence Modifier, Overcharged Shotguns with Barrier and Unstoppable Champions.
Lead the way.
Our third feature, Nightfall, will see us face off against the Taken Hydra Parthenos in the Hibernate Current on Neptune. where you have a chance to get a Pinnacle engram if you complete the Nightfall with a score of 200k or more. This Nightfall will require you to own the Lightfall expansion to play. You'll be able to earn high-end gear for your characters, including the Nightfall featured weapon, exotic gear, enhancement cores, enhancement prisms, ascendant shards, and adept Nightfall ciphers. The higher the Nightfall difficulty, the more common the drop will be, with the featured weapon and exotic gear being uncommon at hero difficulty to being common with ascendant shards in Grand Masters. Legend and low Nightfalls will have 5 Overload and 6 Unstoppable champions, with 12 Solar, 5 Arc and 28 Void Shields. Masters and GMs will have 7 Overload and 9 Unstoppable, with 12 Solar, 6 Arc and 32 Void Shields. Your Nightfall modifiers are Hero difficulty, maximum effective level 1765, matchmaking is available, enemies have extra shields, champions foe, you'll face Overload and Unstoppable champions. You can either use intrinsic exotics, use a subclass debuff, or unlock anti-champion mods from the seasonal artifact. Arc threat, 25% increase to incoming arc damage. Denial, Token Vandals summon their shields significantly more often. Overcharged weapons, weapons overcharged from the seasonal artifact are active in this activity. Kinetic weapons do increased damage when your subclass element matches an active surge. Solar Surge, 25% bonus to outgoing solar damage. Strand Surge, 25% bonus to outgoing strand damage. Overcharged Grenade Launcher, 25% bonus damage with grenade launchers. Galvanized, combatants have more health and are more difficult to stun. Legend difficulty, maximum effective level 1815, includes all previous modifiers except Galvanized. No matchmaking. Equipment locked, you will be unable to change your equipment once the mission starts. Master difficulty, maximum effective level 1820, includes all previous modifiers except Galvanized. Champions mob, this difficulty adds more champion enemies. And Famine, all ammunition drops are significantly reduced. To combat champions, you have access to subclass counters as well as a choice of intrinsic anti-champion artifact mods. This season's artifact is the Queen's Force Sensor. The anti-champion mods available this week are Overload Auto Rifle, Overload Pulse Rifle, and Overload Rocket Launcher, Unstoppable Hand Cannon, and Unstoppable Bow. You also have exotic weapons and armor that can help with intrinsic mods as well. For Overload, the Void Energy Bowler Monarch, the Arc Energy Linear Trace Rifle Divinity, the Arc Heavy Machine Gun Thunderlord, and the Warlock Exotic Boots the Secant Filaments, which when you drop an Empowering Rift, any weapon that is fired from inside the well can cause an Overload champion to be stunned. For Unstoppable, the Kinetic Fusion Rifle Bastion, the Kinetic Hand Cannon Malfeasance, the Kinetic Scout Rifle Touch of Malice, the Solar Energy Sidearm Devil's Ruin, the Void Heavy Bow Leviathan's Breath, the Titan Gauntlet Sash and Wake, where Fusion Grenade hits stun Unstoppable champions, and the Hunter Gauntlet Zathras' Embrace, which have a chance to stun Unstoppable champions with their empowered weighted knife. The 6v6 control node will feature Checkmate Control this week. Checkmate Control is a modified version of Control, where rich primary weapon fights can happen more often, and gun skill can be augmented by communication and strong positioning. You will still have to capture the control point, but primary weapon damage has been tuned to feel a little differently from the rest of the game, without it being too jarring. This should reduce the gap between the faster killing weapons and the average time to kill, and in general pushing longer range primaries into the slower killing profiles. Players' health has been increased, but the passive regeneration of grenade, melee and class abilities has been reduced by 50%, and supers by 40%. You will also not spawn in with special ammo. Instead, you will have to earn it by generating points from kills, assists, deaths, zone captures, and gathering heavy ammo. You won't lose points accumulated on death, and special ammo you earn persists through lives and rounds. Additionally, you do not drop special ammo on death. This all results in slightly longer combat encounters that reward skill and consistency. And Zone Control returns in the Party Relentless playlist. Zone Control is a 6v6 game mode which emphasises team-based gameplay in capturing zones and not kills. Zone Control forces players to collaborate more actively in capturing and defending zones. Capturing zones dramatically takes longer if only one player tries to do it themselves, with it taking 22.5 seconds to capture the point, whereas 2 can capture within 10 seconds. 3 or more players will capture the zone in 7.5 seconds. Beyond that, capturing a zone will net the team 1 point per capture, and holding on to the point will reward 2 points every 15 seconds per zone, making it essential to lock down areas rather than float between them carelessly. The first team to 125 points wins. Elimination will also be available in the 3v3 playlist. Elimination is a 3v3 game mode that focuses on eliminating the enemy team. Teammates can revive each other, but cannot revive themselves. The first team to eliminate the other team wins the round. If neither team have been eliminated after 2 minutes, then a control point will spawn somewhere on the map. The team that captures the point will win the round. If neither team can capture the point, then whichever guardian is closest to the centre of the point will win the round. Heavy ammo will spawn in the round after a team has won 3 rounds. The first team to win 5 rounds wins the match. And available in the Crucible Labs playlist this week will be Relic. Relic is a 6v6 PvP party mode where all players wreak havoc and destruction on their foes with a relic weapon. Relics include the Aegis Shield from Vault of Glass, the Synaptic Spear from Season of the Risen, and the Scythe from Season of the Haunted. Each player charges their personal relic energy by defeating opponents with their normal loadout. Upon reaching full charge, players can acquire the relic from the Relic Depot. Defeating relic holders and using relics to defeat opponents earns points for the team.
Delightful!
And Saint 14 will be back at the weekend with Trials of Osiris Dominion, bringing with him a whole host of rewards for players who do make it to the lighthouse and open the chest. These include the Hero's Wake exotic Ghost Shell, the Valiant Memory exotic Ship, the Survivor's Journey exotic Sparrow, a new armor set, and the new Trials shader Visor Regalia. Trials of Osiris Dominion is a 3v3 PvP high stakes game mode with a twist of a capture point. In Dominion, 2 teams of 3 go head to head in a battle for control of a capture point. Teams can either work together to capture the control point or eliminate the enemy team to win the round. Only available from Friday Reset until Tuesday Weekly Reset, Trials gives every player the chance to show off their PvP skills to obtain some of Destiny's most sought after weapons and armour. Players that compete in Trials of Osiris will have all of their games tracked to a passage card, a ticket purchased from Saint 14 in the lower hangar of the tower. Winning rounds and matches in Trials of Osiris will grant exclusive weapons, armour, Pinnacle gear, masterwork materials, and even adept gear for the most skilled players who can reach the lighthouse with a flawless ticket of 7 games won and no losses. 5 round wins will bag you the match for your passage card. By competing in Trials, you do have a chance to pick up 2 Pinnacle engrams from playing each week, one from 50 round wins and the other from winning 7 games. These do not have to be done all in one go, but you do have to complete them before the weekly reset.
That is amazing.
This week we'll see the return of the Destiny Christmas holiday event, The Dawning, running from December 12th to the 1st of January 2024, where you can earn a new glaive, Alberto Wing, and a new memento. So bake those cookies and earn those treats. Additionally, there will be bonus Gambit ranks all week long. And that's it for the 3rd week of Season of the Wish. Thank you for watching. Allons-y.
Guardian down.